Hello, my name is Jason Han, and this video is for the Incheon Metropolitan Office of Education. This is just going to be a quick intro video about myself. Like I said, my name is Jason Han. My nationality is a U.S. citizen. I was actually born in Korea, but I moved to the U.S. when I was about 3 years old. So I'm basically American. I'm 29 years old, and my major in college was psychology. And the reason I am applying to this program is because I've worked for the past year as a ESL teacher in Korea, and I really loved it. The school ran out of funding, so now I'm looking for a different job for the following year. Yeah, like I said, I love the country and I love the people. I'm ethnically Korean, so I already know a bit about the culture, like especially the food. I'm already familiar with all the food, so none of that bothered me when I first came here. Yeah, so I also like working in education. I really like it when I teach the kids and they seem to like learn it and progress in it. I get a lot of satisfaction when the kids learn something that I'm teaching. So like I said previously, I've had 1 year experience as a English teacher in Korea, and from my experience, I learned a lot. Before I came to Korea, I used to work in a public school in America, or a few public schools in America, and I noticed a few differences, such as in Korea, it seems to be very collective minded. For example, like if you walk down the street, everybody has a very similar like fashion style, and in America, they try to be as individualistic as possible. I mean, we're all human beings, so we're gonna copy some things, but in America, they make a real effort to be different than everybody else. So that was one big difference that I noticed. Um, so in the classroom, how that would relate is, so when I'm creating the lesson, I could be fairly confident that all the students or majority of the students will be really interested in the same thing. So for example, I know the boys nowadays, they really love this game called League of Legends. So if I made a PPT, an English lesson PPT with like League of Legends pictures and references, then I know they'll really get into it, and I would make them participate to continue in the PPT or in the game related to the things they already like. Um, I also noticed that there are a lot more similarities than differences between American students and Korean students. I mean, they're all kids and they're all going through the same phase of growing up. So there are a lot more similarities. So it wasn't too difficult in that respect to get used to teaching in Korea. My strength as an ESL teacher is that I've been a student of foreign languages like nearly my entire life. So, like I said, I was born in Korea, and the first language that I learned was Korean. So when I first moved to America, it was a long time ago, but I still remember like learning like one word at a time and just looking at pictures and learning the English word for it and all the little translations and all of that and learning all the sentence structure. I remember it was very difficult, but obviously I could speak English perfectly now. I also learned Spanish while I was in high school, and I also lived in Mexico for about 2 years. So I could see the difference between teaching styles, like learning in a classroom versus being immersed in the country and learning it as a necessity. Like I remember I learned more Spanish in Mexico within 2 months than I learned in high school within 2 years. So just taking that into consideration, I could incorporate that into the lesson plan and really try to um, have the kids progress in learning English. My teaching style would be very student oriented. So, for example, the students will basically let me know what they're interested in and like what type of style that best suits them. Of course, I'm not going to know that on the first day of school, but as the year progresses, I could learn what they respond to positively and what type of teaching style they will like completely ignore. So I could incorporate that as well as the things that they're interested in and really try to get them focused on learning English in a way that they're really interested in. I'm very familiar with planning lessons. I've worked for a year in Korea planning lessons. So a majority of it I did not by myself, but I created a majority of the lesson plan, and then I would have it checked by the co-teacher and things like that. So I'm very familiar with it. The things I used to motivate the students were I used a lot of games, and I would really, like I said, calibrate the lesson based on the students' needs. I really got along with all the faculty. I actually included reference letters from my co-teacher and my vice principal, and I included their phone numbers so you could call them and see how our relationship was. I really tried to um, get a little more of the personal side of them, not just the professional side. So I really, try to be a friend to each other, and not just a professional relationship. Okay, so that's gonna conclude my video. I hope you liked it, and I'll be looking forward to meeting you for a face-to-face interview. Thank you.